Hi everyone, my name is Sherry, and today I want to talk about something kind of different. Recently a friend asked me if I'd heard of something called ASMR. I had not heard of it, so I had to look it up. So here's the definition I found. ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, ASMR. So ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. ASMR, characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation on the skin that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine. So it's supposed to lead to relaxation. Of course, YouTube was my first source for research to see this in action. What I found seemed sort of strange at first. I watched a video where the woman talks to the camera, whispering, and then she has like a makeup brush, and she says she's going to brush that over my face. So basically she's whispering to me like she's talking to me directly, and then pretending to brush the soft brush over my face. And I think she was doing that really just kind of to explain what it is. But to me it actually seemed a little familiar. And that's when I remembered that I had unwittingly used ASMR to calm my babies when they were little. I remember that I would lay them down on my lap with the baby facing me, and as I cooed sweet words or sang a nursery rhyme or told them a little story, I would gently, I've always had long hair, and so I would gently sort of brush my hair over their face as I would talk to her, and I could tell by the content look on my baby's face that she loved it. And they would usually close their eyes or sometimes even fall asleep. They were very relaxed, very calmed. They really seemed to like me talking to them and brushing my hair over their face. So that's when I remembered recently that my sister-in-law, her baby had colic. And so I mentioned this to her, hoping that would help soothe the colic. She said she hadn't heard of it either until I described it, and she looked it up on YouTube too. Then she said that she had used it at work. She just didn't realize it had a name. She'd used it to calm some of her escalated patients. I don't know exactly what she meant by escalated, but I'm assuming since she counsels abused children, that these were children that were very emotionally traumatized, and it was a good way to calm them. So apparently it's a good way to calm and soothe emotionally traumatized children, or maybe even adults, and that it would lead to relaxation. So I can see where this would be a good thing, especially if you have a child or an adult who is suffering in a way that they need to be calmed down, or a baby with colic, or before bedtime. All those things seem like good times to use this technique to help calm and relax. However, and this is just my opinion, it seems like it's being portrayed in ways that seem maybe gratuitous. And because of that, it's actually in some respects getting a bad rap and not being taken seriously. And to be honest, as I looked on YouTube, there are a lot of really strange ASMR videos out there. They're like role-playing videos, and you know, like someone dressing up as a nurse or as a hairstylist, and she's going to pretend to wash your hair, and she's whispering and making all these sort of odd noises. What troubles me is that by doing it this way, taking something that could help soothe someone who needs emotional calm and turning it into a joke. Now don't get me wrong, there are now many spoof videos out there. Personally, I think those are funny, and I'm fine with those. I don't have a problem with the spoofs. Good Mythical Morning's take on it had me laughing pretty good. It's these odd role-playing ones that aren't meant to be spoofs that are giving ASMR a bad reputation. Places that I think it would be useful is to soothe babies or young children as I said before, or use it to make a parent-child connection. That's sort of what I did with my babies. Or using it to help soothe a friend who's suffering from anxiety or on the edge of having a panic attack. I think people need to stop trying to seek tingles just out of fun. I think people need to look at it for really the purpose, like maybe help relax a child who's having a hard time sleeping. Now, some of these other videos, I'm seeing a lot of eating noises and weird gibberish. I don't see how any of that would be relaxing. For me, I think the words, meaning in the words is really important. Like that's what I did with my babies, you know. I would tell them a nursery rhyme, or I would tell them a story, or I would tell them that I love them, or I think meaning in the words and making that connection that way is kind of important, or actually really important with this. I think if you're touching and soothing their face to help relax them, then you should be saying something that also is relaxing. Just sort of trace their face, trace the outline of their face as I whispered and say sweet things to them. I think that's more appropriate. It just makes more sense. And I'm not trying to make this really serious because I don't think it's like a huge deal. I just think. So for me, if I needed to be relaxed in this way, which, you know, I don't see any situations where I would need to be relaxed this way. I think just watching a video where someone's pretending to brush a feather over my face, I don't see how that would relax me. I don't see how that would relax anyone. I think they would really need to be touched, you know, actually touched and spoken to. But that's just me. I mean, I hear some people are getting the tingles just from watching a video, and I think some of those are good too. And I think maybe this is why reading a bedtime story to children is one thing that helps them relax and helps them go to sleep, is because usually when you're reading a bedtime story, you're using a soft voice. And I think it's natural for a lot of parents to want to touch the child's face or brush their hair out of their face or just trace their features. And children just really, they do like that. At least mine did. This is why I think the storytellers on YouTube are the only ones doing something useful. There's two specifically that I can think of, and I'm going to put links for them down in the description. I think one's called ASMR Requests, and the other one is Dog-Eared Books. There probably are more storyteller ones out there. I will look for those, and if I find them, I'll put links for those down there too. So with this perspective in mind, I was thinking maybe we need a group of booktubers who recommend ASMR suitable books to be read or whispered to children if they can't sleep. Now, when my girls were younger, I can remember a few books that I'd read to my girls when they were little that I think would be really ideal for this. One is called Whale Song, and I'll put links for these down below. I don't remember the authors for these right now, but I remember the titles. So, Whale Song. I remember that. My girls loved that. I would read it to them a lot, and usually we would be whispering it to them or speaking gently to them. The other one is Christmas Cat, and then also Mama, Do You Love Me? Or I was thinking even a classic, going back to like Robin Hood ballads, or just something that's really lyrical with how it's written. I think that would be really suitable for this. Anyway, that's my take on ASMR and this trend that's going on YouTube. As always, please subscribe, comment, tell me what books you think would be good for this, or ways that you could use ASMR as a parent. Put those in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. And also give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends. Until next time, bye.